my review of Saved by the Bell content. This is episode 1 called Dancing at the Max. In this episode, Slater and Zach are trying to compete to have Kelly as a dance partner at a dance competition at the Max. Zach's hair game in this episode is definitely an 8 out of 10. I really like his hair in this episode. Casey Kasem also appears in this episode, and I feel like Saved by the Bell is where ugly sweaters are cool. The pilot is actually not the pilot at all. It was actually shot in the middle of the series but aired as the pilot. And what I really love is this scene right here because it really shows Saved by the Bell as being a really fun show that we could expect musicals, dancing, etc. Sometimes I see scenes like this and I understand why Dustin Diamond felt very self-conscious about his role as Screech. But Mark Paul also admits that he actually has a lot of insecurities about this particular episode because he wasn't good at dancing. When I see this scene, I'm like, oh my god, the innocence though. Also, don't kill me, but every time I see Zach and Jesse together, I feel like they have such chemistry and I never understand why he's with Kelly. Here's my review of Saved by the Bell episode 2 called The Lisa Card. In this episode, Lisa spends a little bit too much money on her dad's credit card and the gang is trying to help her figure out how to pay him back. But first, let's rate Zach's hair. This is give a 5 out of 10. His hair is kind of growing out in this and I noticed that he hasn't gotten his highlights done. I prefer his hair color to be a little bit more blonde even though I know that's not his natural hair color. My favorite scene is in the bedroom, because it really shows off all their personalities in this scene. Lisa shows off her really comical side. Kelly shows off her really innocent side. Jesse is the only truthful friend. And Zach says, enjoy it and then deny it. This is one of the more problematic episodes I feel like in Saved by the Bell. That's why I'm surprised it actually aired as episode 2. Because Zach sells kisses without Lisa's permission. You have Kelly strutting down the hallway in a bikini. Why is this scheme so elaborate? They could have just did this in a garage sale. Never have I ever learned about animal sex in school. Do you see how Kelly and Slater almost break character right here? Saved by the Bell, episode 3, called The Gift. In this episode, Screech gets struck by lightning and then evidently can tell the future, so Zach uses that to his advantage to win a bet with Slater. Zach's hair rating in this episode is a 6. I think it's kind of the same from last episode. His hair is kind of growing out. There's a lot more brown in it, but I really like the outfits they put him in this episode because it really accentuates his hair. In this episode, they have a teacher that is the fastest talking man alive. This scene in the classroom is a testament to why Saved by the Bell was a morning show. It is so animated, and they really strive to kind of grab the attention of kids ages 8 to 12.
So much North Virginia, only to be met by the Patriots in North Carolina, where he suffered heavy losses to Yorktown, Virginia, leading to Washington's favorite town, New York City, followed by a swift move south to block Cornwallis' escape by land. First Cornwallis surrendered Yorktown on October 19, 1781. That
scene was so funny, even my 6-year-old laughed at that. This is also the episode I realized Zach was rich. He has a cell phone, he has a computer, he has a ham radio. And I have to say it, this scene in the bedroom is just so cringy, even for Zach Morris standards. Saved by the Bell, episode 4, called Fatal Distraction. In this episode, Zach wants to figure out if Kelly's going to take him to the dance, so he spies on the girls during a slumber party. The girls find out, and then they devise a plan to get back at him. But Zach's hair rating in this episode is 6.5. I just love how it's perfectly smooth on the top. Like, he really took his time to do his hair in this episode. Some of my favorite scenes as an adult watching these back is the scenes with Belding and the kids. There are some adults jokes there that I don't think that we got and kind of went over our head when we were younger. Some questionable fashion choices this episode too. Like they have Kelly in these really baggy striped clothes and this green t-shirt. And I'm always interested in why they put Zach in these ugly sweaters. This is like the first one I've seen so far, and it's a pink one. It's just so adult for him. One of the great things about Saved by the Bell is the side characters are always so memorable. Via the teachers or some of the students that come in. Like Rhonda. I'm actually surprised that the Zachy thing never became a thing. Saved by the Bell, episode 5, Screech's Woman. In this episode, Screech is depressed that Lisa doesn't like him and he can't finish their science project, so then Zach pretends to be a girl named Bambi to cheer him up. Zach's hair rating in this episode is a 7. It has a little swoosh thing going on, which is a little bit different for him. Also, do you notice Jesse's locker is like in the wrong place? Like in this episode it's here, but in further episodes it's over there. Sometimes I wonder why they egg Screech on, even though they know that Lisa doesn't like him. Maybe it's a high school thing, because I do remember when we were in high school, we used to push our friends to kind of talk to their crushes, even though we knew that crushes didn't like them. I love how Saved by the Bell uses the lockers for comedic value. In this episode, Screech chains himself to a locker. And then in another scene, the locker gets transferred to Belding's office. And then Kelly walks into the office to put away her stuff into her locker that gets pulled in the office. It's just funny. And here's Zach as Bambi. I don't know why they dressed him like this. And with the wig and the glasses, they make him look like he's like 30 years old. The inappropriate touching though.